What is printing, people? Welcome back to Custom 3D. Now today, I'm going to be talking about something that is going to be controversial and probably make some fanboys mad. But I bought a Prusa MK3 S Plus around Thanksgiving of last year. And here's the kicker. It is the most overrated 3D printer on the market today. Thanks guys, stay tuned, and I'm going to go into more depth about that statement. So, this is my Prusa. I've had it, like I said, since Thanksgiving. And here is the first big thing. If you're a beginner, don't buy the kit. I'd like to say seasoned in 3D printing, having worked with hobbyist level Creality machines to MakerBots and even hundreds of thousands of dollars of 3D printers on the industrial side. This is the most difficult 3D printer I've ever worked with. When I bought the multi-material upgrade, I've had nothing but problems and occasional success. But when I pay $1,300 for something and it fails the same amount as my $300 3D printer, it kind of sets me off in the wrong direction. Now, a lot of you Prusa fanboys are going to say, you didn't set it up right, and you're true. I've made some mistakes. It wasn't the printer's fault. But guess what? These are still easier to work with. Because when they break, just like this does, and you can say it doesn't, but it does, just like anything else, they all buy from the same suppliers and manufacturers. These are easy to work with. Now, you can say, oh, the direct drive is better. It is, but it's more difficult to work on because you have what is separated into two parts here, all crammed into this one small area. Now, this is where I've had the most problems, is extrusion and this little sensor up here. Now, recently I've been having another issue, and I probably can try to fix it, and that is, I'll go to print something, and the filament will get loaded, it'll level the bed, and then it'll go to reload the filament. Now that's probably because of this sensor right here not being aligned correctly. And I will probably fix that after I finish this video. But let me tell you this, there's no sensor on this machine and it works just fine. I have 3D printers not to create models, but for production and prototyping. When I need a machine to literally just pump out parts, I have had a lot more success with my Creality machines compared to this. Now, the reasoning behind that is probably because this is a kit and I may have made some mistakes, but yet again, I will say this, I have done a lot of research. I have a friend who helps me with this machine occasionally because he's had one for years and knows a lot more about it than I do. And I still have been having issues with the machine. Now, I guess with 3D printing, it's a hit or miss for everybody, and everybody has a different story. And a lot of the 3D printing community loves this machine, and it is a good printer. But let me say that, good. Not great, not above average, not below average, average. I have created prototypes for somebody on the CR10 and this, and the quality is exactly the same. No difference. And the only big difference is the speed. This is usually faster just because of the slicer. And I mean, I've been using Cura, but I switched over to Prusa Slicer for this, and Prusa Slicer is better than Cura. I'm not going to debate that, it just is. But the premise of this video is that this thing is overrated. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe all the press you see that this is the greatest printer for under $1,000. The Prusa Mini is probably a better buy than this thing. Two of them is probably a better buy than this thing. Or just buy a Creality machine, and if it breaks, it's $30 to replace the hot end assembly, which is what breaks the most because of the thermal runaway. And belts are easy to tighten. The main board's easy to replace, and it hasn't broken. I've had one for 2 years now, and the main board hasn't gone. Yeah, Prusa MK3 S Plus, overrated. Now, if you want to change my mind, let's have a civil discussion in the comments. So, thanks guys. This is just a small little rant video about this thing. I will continue to update you, but this is where I'm at in my experience with this machine right now. So thanks guys. Make sure to check out all the links in the description below, and I'll catch you in the next one.